It starts with a screenshot, a blurry photo of a contract, a signature that looks a little too familiar, and one name on the page that sends shockwaves through an already broken family. Towanda. Suddenly, all those quiet looks, the half-finished sentences, the awkward pauses between sisters make sense. Because tonight, Tamar is not just crying on live, she's not just venting. Tonight, she says she has receipts, and this time, she's calling it what it is. A secret deal between her own mother, Evelyn, and her own sister, done behind her back. The last time we saw this family, Tamar was in tears, saying she couldn't take it anymore after Evelyn went public, questioning her loyalty, her love, and even her place in the family legacy. Evelyn went live too, hinting that she'd covered up more than the world will ever know. The internet split down the middle, daughters versus mothers, old school loyalty versus new school boundaries. And somewhere in the middle, the sisters tried to stay quiet, but their silence said a lot. Tonight, the silence is broken. In the middle of the night, Tamar hits go live again. No makeup, no filter, just swollen eyes and a locked jaw. She holds her phone like it's a weapon and whispers, "Y'all wanted the truth? Okay. Let's talk about the deal Mama and Towanda made without telling me. Because once you see this, it changes everything you thought you knew about this family. And what she's about to reveal? It might be the deepest cut yet." The live doesn't start with tears this time. It starts with a silence so heavy you can almost hear her heartbeat. Tamar sits there, staring into the camera, eyes still puffy, but there's something different in her face tonight. Less pleading, more resolved. She's not begging to be understood. She's not asking anyone to pick a side. She looks like a woman who has seen something she can't unsee. The comments roll in fast. "Are you okay, baby? What happened now? Please tell me you and your mama made up." She glances at the screen, shakes her head slowly, and gives a sad, humorless laugh. "You ever think you crazy?" she says softly, "and then you find something that proves you were right the whole time. That's where I'm at tonight." She reaches down and lifts a stack of printed papers into the frame. It's messy, edges bent, some pages highlighted, others with sticky notes clinging to the top. "You see this right here?" she says, voice trembling. "This right here is why I haven't been sleeping. This is why I've been walking around feeling like something is wrong and nobody would say it. This is a deal. And my name ain't on it." The chat freezes for a second, like everyone collectively holds their breath. Then, chaos. A deal with who? Contracts? Oh, this about the money. Is this what the family associate was talking about? She nods, more to herself than to them. "I wasn't even supposed to see this," she admits. "I got this by accident. Somebody sent it to the wrong email. And you know what's funny? It wasn't even meant for me. It was a copy, a courtesy copy. But the names on it?" She taps the papers. They tell the whole story. Somewhere, in another part of the city, Towanda's phone lights up. Her notifications are already insane, people tagging her under Tamar clips, fan pages asking if she's going to speak, cousins sending eye emojis, church friends sending praying hands. Now, they're sending something else. "Girl, did you see she waving papers around on live? She talking about a deal. Your name on it? Call me. Now." Towanda doesn't call anyone. She just watches. On Tamar's live, the camera shakes slightly as she adjusts it, like her hands are struggling to hold steady. "You remember when everything blew up before," she says. "When Mama did that interview, and she made it sound like I turned on the family for a check? Like I put a show before my own blood? Y'all remember that? And then that little article came out talking about money issues behind the scenes? I kept saying, something not right, something not adding up." She holds up the top page. "Well, this is what wasn't adding up." The page is blurred by the camera, but viewers can make out a logo at the top, some production company, some corporate name that means nothing to regular people, but everything to anyone who's ever signed their life away for a season. Under that, a line, "Talent Participation and Executive Services Agreement." And below, in bold, the names, Evelyn, Towanda, not Tamar, not the other sisters, just those two. In the corner of the screen, comments fly by. Oh, hell no. So Mama and Towanda had a side deal? Wait, executive services? That means producer money. Y'all. Tamar swallows hard. For years, she says, voice cracking. I've been sitting in confessionals, crying on couches, having my real life torn apart on camera. For years, I've been listening to people call me dramatic, call me unstable, call me ungrateful, all while being told, we all eat the same. We all in this together. This is about the family. She lifts the pages again, her eyes burning. So why? She asks slowly. Did my mama and my sister have a separate deal as executive producers over our lives, and nobody told me? The question hangs in the air like smoke. You can feel thousands of women watching, thinking of the times they were told, we're all equal, only to find out someone else was getting a little bit more, a little bit earlier, a little bit on the side. In the shadows of the internet, a small gossip blog posts a blurry still of the live with the caption, exclusive. Tamar claims Evelyn and Towanda had secret producer deal. Within minutes, bigger pages pick it up. They add their own spin. Was Tamar cut out of her own family's success? Evelyn and Towanda's alleged side contract exposed. The story grows legs. And back in the real world, in a quiet house where the lights are low and the blinds are drawn, Towanda closes her eyes. Because she knows exactly what Tamar is holding. She remembers the day they signed it. It wasn't in some glamorous office. It was a conference room with stale air and 2 bright lights. Evelyn sat at the head of the table, shoulders pulled back, trying to look like the matriarch they all said she was. The lawyer slid the papers across the gloss surface and said a line that stuck with Towanda. This just formalizes what's already happening. At the time, it sounded harmless, logical even. Evelyn had been the one handling the calls, the offers, the meetings. She was mamager before anyone knew what that word meant. The deal was presented as a way to honor her role and compensate her for the work nobody saw. But buried under that language were percentages, points on the back end, credits, control, and one clause that now makes Towanda's stomach twist. Additional participant may be added at the discretion of the executive producers. They could have brought Tamar in, they could have brought all the sisters in, but they didn't. Not then. Not ever. On the live, Tamar's voice goes softer, more fragile. I want y'all to understand something, she says. I'm not mad that my mama wanted to be taken care of. I'm not mad that my sister wanted security. I get that. I respect that. I was there when we had nothing. I remember sharing outfits for performances. I remember overdraft fees. I remember the lights almost getting cut off. I know what she did for us. I know the grind. Her eyes harden, even as they shine with tears. What I'm mad at, she continues, is being made to feel like I was the problem. Like I was the one who broke this family. All while decisions like this were being made behind closed doors. About my life, with my face on the screen. And I was the last to know. The comments are loud now. This is betrayal. Nah, this different. This ain't just arguing. How you hide a whole contract from your own child and sister. Across TikTok and X, fans start digging. They pull old clips where Evelyn insists, we a unit. What affects one, affects all. They find interviews where Towanda sits quietly while Tamar rants about feeling controlled. Her face tight with something you couldn't quite name at the time. Now, people are replaying those moments with new eyes. Oh my god, Towanda's face in this clip makes sense now. She been carrying the secret. She been in the middle the whole time. A so-called insider pops up on a fan podcast, voice disguised, claiming they were around when the deal was signed. They told Tamar she was too emotional to be included in the business side, the voice says. That's what I heard. They said she was better in front of the camera, not behind it. True or not, the quote spreads like wildfire. Back on the live, Tamar looks like she's fighting herself. Part of her wanting to go all the way in. Part of her still that little girl who doesn't want to hurt her mother, her sister. I confronted them, she admits quietly. When I saw this, I picked up the phone. I called my mama first. I said, "Ma, what is this? How long you had this? Why you ain't tell me?" She pauses, biting her lip. And do you know what she said? She said, "You don't understand how this business works." Her voice imitates Evelyn's tone, not mocking, but heavy. "You were taken care of. Why you digging for things that don't concern you?" The chat loses it. Not "don't concern you" when it's about her own name. That's emotional abuse, I'm sorry. Older black mamas gon' hate hearing this, but some of y'all say the same thing. Tamar's eyes fill again. "That broke me," she says. "Because after everything that's happened, after all these years of feeling like I'm losing my mind, to hear my own mama tell me that a deal about my family, my show, my trauma, don't concern me?" That's when I realized it's not just hurt, it's about control. She looks down at the papers, thumb tracing one of the signatures, and then I called Towanda. The room, the screen, the comments, all seem to lean forward at once. And my sister, she stops, clears her throat. My sister didn't deny it. She didn't say it was fake. She just said, "I didn't know how to tell you." You can hear the crack in her spirit when she repeats it. "I didn't know how to tell you." In homes across the country, women close their eyes, remembering their own versions of that sentence. "I didn't tell you because I didn't want to lose you. I didn't tell you because I was scared. I didn't tell you because I was benefiting from your silence." On the live, Tamar's jaw clenches. "Do you know how it feels," she says, "to realize that your pain, your breakdowns, your drama, were happening while other people were quietly getting paid to manage the story of your life? Do you know how it feels to be the one on the operating table, while your own family is in the observation room, negotiating with the surgeons?" The metaphor lands like a slap. Screenshots of her words hit X within seconds. A reality TV producer, watching from afar, posts a cryptic tweet. "Side deals in family shows are more common than y'all think. Nobody wants to admit it, but someone always gets cut out of the power circle. No names, no tags, but everyone knows who they're talking about." As Tamar continues, the energy shifts from sadness to something sharper. "I'm not telling y'all this to cancel my family," she says. "I'm not telling you this so you can go drag my mama or my sister. I'm telling y'all because for the first time, I see the pattern. I see the setup, and I refuse to carry a guilt that was never mine in the first place." Her breathing is shallow now. "I thought I was going crazy," she whispers. "I thought I was the one tearing us apart. Meanwhile, the whole time there were deals, there were meetings, there were payments, and I was left out of the room." She looks straight into the camera, voice dropping low. "And before anybody says, 'Well, that's just business,' let me tell you this. When the business is built on your tears, your trauma, your relationships, your childhood, then it ain't just business, it's personal." Her phone buzzes again, harder this time. She glances down, and for a split second, the viewers catch a name lighting up the top of her screen. Towanda. She flips it face down. Her lips tremble. "She calling me right now," Tamar murmurs. "Of course she is." The comments explode. "Answer it. Three-way this drama, girl. Don't pick up. She gonna gaslight you." She takes a long, shaky breath. "Y'all wanna know the part that really made me sit here and say, 'Nah, I gotta go live?'" she asks. She sorts through the pages, pulling out a specific one. It's covered in yellow highlighter, ink marks in the margins. "There's a clause in here," she says, fingers tracing the line. A little sentence, buried in lawyer talk. And when I read it, my heart stopped. Because it explains everything. Why I was painted a certain way. Why certain scenes stayed in. Why certain scenes were cut. Why I was always the one looking like the problem. She takes a breath so deep you can see her shoulders rise and fall. "This clause," she whispers, voice breaking, "is where they put in writing exactly how my story could be used." She looks up at the camera, eyes wet, hands shaking. the page trembling between her fingers. And when I read the words they used about me, the way they described me, the way they gave other people the right to control how I look to the world, her voice fades to a hoarse whisper. That's when I knew. This changes everything. She blinks, a single tear sliding down her cheek as she stares at the highlighted line. Because once I read this out loud to y'all, she says slowly, some of y'all will never look at my mama or my sister the same way again. She lifts the page closer to her face, trying to steady herself, lips forming the first words of the clause. And then the screen glitches. The live stutters. The comments freeze. And just as she opens her mouth to read the sentence that could blow the lid off the entire family, the stream cuts to black. The screen stays black for 3 full seconds. 3 long, disorienting, breath-stealing seconds where thousands of people wonder if their phone died, if Tamar's Wi-Fi glitched, or if someone somewhere pulled the plug on purpose. And then the live reconnects. But now the camera is shaking, her breathing is uneven, and it's clear something happened off-screen. Tamar wipes her face with the back of her hand, not even checking if the stream is stable. Okay, she whispers, voice raw. Okay. I'm back. I'm here. The chat detonates instantly. What happened? Girl, you froze right when you were about to read it. The clause. Read. The clause. She presses her lips together, glancing toward the doorway of the room like she thinks someone might walk in at any moment. For a second, it looks like she's deciding whether this is worth it, whether exposing this secret is worth the backlash she knows is coming. Her voice is much quieter when she continues. Y'all, somebody just tried to call me again, back-to-back calls, and it wasn't Towanda this time. Her eyes flicker with something fear or frustration, maybe both. It was Mama. The comments explode into hysteria. Oh, she knows you're about to expose her. She watching the live. Don't answer. Not tonight. Tamar exhales shakily, then smooths the highlighted page against her knee. The paper crinkles loudly in the microphone, filling the tense silence. Let me read y'all what I saw, she says. I want to be very clear. These are not my words. These are not my interpretations. This is exactly how the clause reads. She lifts the document and reads slowly, bitterness dripping from each syllable. Producer reserves the right to utilize participants' emotional responses, interpersonal conflicts, escalated behaviors, or personal crises as narrative drivers or dramatic focal points within the program. The chat stops. For a full second, no one writes anything. And then, what? Narrative driver? Did they call her emotional responses an asset? Oh my God, they literally profited off her pain. Tamar reads the next line, voice breaking mid-sentence. Said portrayals may be edited, enhanced, or contextualized at producer's discretion to maximize viewer engagement, episode cohesion, or dramatic impact. Her hand covers her mouth. Y'all, they gave them permission to make me look any way they wanted. Angry, crazy, difficult, unstable. And they didn't have to ask me. They didn't have to warn me. They didn't have to protect me. She looks into the camera, eyes glistening with betrayal. And this clause is signed by my mama and my sister. Their signatures are right next to the language that said my breakdowns were entertainment. She laughs once, just one short, broken sound. Tell me again how I was the one destroying the family image. A woman in her 50 seconds watching from her living room whispers to her TV, Lord Jesus. She's been in therapy, learning about emotional enmeshment, generational trauma. Everything Tamar says lands like deja vu. Back on the live, Tamar flips another page with shaking fingers. I'm not done, she says quietly. Because the next part explains why y'all saw me as the villain. Why every time I tried to defend myself, the edit made it look like I was attacking. She highlights a different section and reads, Producer may prioritize or amplify conflicts involving participant to preserve narrative continuity or to elevate emotionally charged sequences deemed beneficial to the program's success. She stares at the camera for a moment, her chest rising and falling with the force of her breath. Do you understand what this means? It means the show didn't just capture drama. They assigned it to me. I was the emotional sacrifice. I was the narrative workhorse. Meanwhile, the ones signing these deals were protected, positioned, and paid. The chat scrolls faster than the app can handle. I'm sick. This is exploitation. And her own family co-signed it? Mama and Towanda got producer credits while she got portrayed as the problem? Across the internet, fans start digging deeper. They pull old clips from episodes, moments where Tamar cried uncontrollably while producers comforted others. Scenes where she was described as the dramatic one, the firecracker, the unstable one. Now, viewers overlay those clips with the clause she just read. People are tweeting, "It wasn't her. It was the contract." They literally scripted her trauma. This is what generational exploitation looks like. But Tamar isn't watching any of that. She's staring down at the papers, whispering, "I wasn't crazy. I wasn't dramatic. I was being set up." Her hands shake harder now. I asked Towanda why she didn't tell me about this clause. Why she would sign something that let them use my pain like this. And you know what she said? Her voice slips into a whisper. She said, "It wasn't about you. It was about protecting the family." The chat goes nuclear. Sis, that is about you. Protecting the family at your expense? That's not protection. That's sacrifice. Tamar's head drops. "When Mama signed this," she whispers, "she gave them the right to exploit me. And the sister who should have protected me signed it too." Her tears fall silently now. I have been apologizing for years for reactions I didn't even understand, for emotions that were manipulated, for storylines that were designed to break me, on purpose. Her phone buzzes again. She doesn't look this time. Instead, she wipes her face and continues. "You know what else is in here?" she asks softly. "A confidentiality clause, one that says if any family member speaks publicly about these terms, the producers can claim breach." She looks up with a tired, haunted expression. "So when y'all wondered why I was quiet, why I couldn't tell the whole truth, why I backed down every time, it's because I was legally gagged." The chat slows for a moment, the weight of it sinking in. Then someone comments, "And Mama knew you were gagged too, didn't she?" Tamar presses her hand to her lips. I don't even have to answer that. Down the street, Evelyn sits in her living room, phone glowing. The messages are coming in non-stop. "You need to go live. They dragging you. Say something." But she doesn't speak. Not yet. Because she knows what Tamar just exposed isn't just embarrassing. It's dangerous. It pokes at all the cracks the family spent years plastering over. It shines a light on decisions made out of fear, desperation, or pride, decisions that hurt the very daughter she thought she was managing. Meanwhile, Towanda is pacing in her bedroom, whispering into a phone. "She wasn't supposed to see that," she says. "We said we would tell her if it ever came up. We said we would handle it together." And the person on the other end whispers back, "You didn't tell her, and now it's too late." Back on the live, Tamar tries to steady her breath. "I didn't tell y'all the worst part yet," she says. The chat explodes. "There's more? What could be worse than that? Girl, don't do this to my heart." She lifts a final page. It's thinner, like an addendum. A small signature line at the bottom. "This," she says, tapping it, "is the part that broke me. Because this is the part where Mama and Towanda agreed that they, not me, had final say over how I was portrayed." Gasps fill the chat. She reads, "Executive producers retain creative oversight regarding the depiction, contextualization, and editorial representation of participant within the program, including but not limited to conflict framing, emotional positioning, and storyline emphasis." Voices in living rooms across America whisper the same sentence. They controlled her storyline. Tamar shakes her head, tears spilling freely now. "So all those years, all those fights, all those scenes where I looked out of control, unreasonable, emotional, my mama and my sister had the power to say, 'Cut that,' or 'Tone that down,' Or that's not fair to Tamar. She swallows hard. And they didn't. Silence. Pure silence. Even the chat slows to a crawl. Like nobody wants to be the first to breathe. Somewhere, a cousin watching the live texts another family member. She found the contract. Oh God, Evelyn's gonna lose it. Back on the stream, Tamar's voice is so soft you can barely hear it. They could have protected me, she says. And they didn't. Her eyes drift downward, unfocused. They let me be the storyline. Her phone buzzes again. Once, twice, 3 times relentless. She flips it over, and the screen lights up long enough for everyone to see the name. Towanda. Calling. 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 Tamar closes her eyes and whispers. She's blowing up my phone because she knows exactly what comes next. The comments erupt. What comes next? Girl, don't stop now. What else did they hide? Tamar opens her mouth to speak. And suddenly another notification pops up at the top of her screen. A social media alert from a major gossip site. Breaking. Evelyn responds, says Tamar, is leaving out key details. Tamar sees it at the same time the viewers do. Her face goes pale. What? She taps the screen with shaking fingers. The comments turn into a blizzard. Mama responded. Oh, this just got nuclear. What key details? Tamar's throat tightens. Are you serious right now? She whispers. But before she can read the statement, before she can defend herself, her phone vibrates violently with a new incoming message. A text. From a number she cannot ignore. From Mama. And the preview reads, if you tell them the rest, you're going to regret it. The screen reflects in Tamar's eyes. She stares, then looks up at the camera. Her voice is barely a whisper. Y'all, there is something even bigger in this contract. Something I didn't tell you yet. She swallows hard. And if Mama is warning me not to say it, then maybe this really might destroy everything. Her hand grips the papers. Her breath trembles. And then she leans forward. As if to speak the final, devastating truth, right as the live abruptly glitches again. If you are still here, still breathing heavy, still clutching your chest after everything Tamar revealed tonight, then you already know this story has crossed a line it can't come back from. This isn't just a messy moment. This isn't just family tension. This is years, decades of secrets finally clawing their way into the light. And now that we've seen the contracts, the handwriting, the emotional manipulation, and the behind-the-scenes betrayal, there's no way to pretend this family is ever going to be the same. What Tamar exposed tonight didn't just shake the internet. It shook every woman who has ever been told to keep quiet for the sake of the family. Every daughter who was labeled dramatic when she was actually hurting. Every sister who carried secrets that weren't hers. Every mother who didn't know how to love without controlling. This isn't just entertainment anymore. This is generational truth spilling into the open. And the craziest part? We are not done. Towanda is about to go live. She is about to speak for the first time since Tamar exposed that contract. And if her message is any indication, I can't do this anymore, then what she's holding back may be even bigger than what Tamar revealed. We don't know if she's going to defend Evelyn, break down crying, confess her own truth, or expose something Tamar doesn't even know yet. But whatever she says, it is going to blow this story wide open. So if you're watching this unfold and you feel that weight in your chest, that pull in your gut telling you, oh no, something even bigger is coming, then don't walk away now. Tap that like button so YouTube knows this is a conversation that matters. Drop a comment and tell us what moment tonight hit you the hardest, because the voices of women who understand this kind of pain deserve to be heard. And most importantly, hit subscribe right now, because the next part of this saga is going to be explosive. Lives will change. Relationships will shatter. Secrets that were buried deep under generations of silence are about to burst open. Don't be the one who hears about it secondhand. Stay right here, because the next episode will change everything all over again.